Guess I'm live now. Hey, what's up? This is George Shimon. I'm coming to you live on this session. We're gonna be talking about HTML, CSS, and how to start learning how to code a web page. So I am gonna answer some of your questions. If you have any questions, submit it in a comment. And make sure you add a comment or a question and let me know where you're tuning in from. My name is George Shamon and I'm coming to you live from the US state of South Dakota, and it's almost a few minutes after midnight, so we're into Friday, August the 16th, 2024. If you're on this live stream or you're tuning in, I want to thank you so much. And if you are on a future replay, also, I want to thank you for viewing the video. Just submit your comments or questions about learning how to code a web page using HTML, CSS. So, yeah, this is not about specific, I don't have any bullet points or topics. I'm going to be answering some questions. So if you have a questions, let me know. And we're talking about the subject is HTML5 and CSS3 and making simple web pages or coding, editing code and using code editor. And the one I'm using is Visual Studio Code. So yeah, if you wanna get started with learning how to make a web page using codes, the first two elements or you have to learn are the HTML5, which is a markup language. It takes care of the structure on a web page. And then it works with CSS3. This is the latest version. And CSS3 will style the HTML elements. It will give it the color, the fonts, so many elements that you can change on a web page. That will be done by CSS3. If you wanna add an element and you have to add a border to it or color, background color. If you want to give the text in a box color, you have to use CSS. So if you're tuning in on this live stream, I want to thank you so much. And if you have any questions, let me know. Submit your questions in a comment box and let me know if you're learning how to code a web page and if you're starting and if you're learning HTML, CSS. And let me know where you're tuning in from. Are you from the US? What state are you tuning in from? If you're overseas, what country are you tuning in from? I am coming to you live from the US state of South Dakota. I want to thank you so much for joining. So let's see what's going on in the comments. Jackson, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see if we get 50 people on your live and donate $100. I don't know. I don't get this much. Cami Aima, I am from Spain. Welcome, Cami. Yeah, you will do. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for the offer, Jackson, but I don't know if I can accept donation. I don't know how, because I don't have a lot of subscribers. Usually you have to have more than what I have now. Right now I have, I think, 124. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I want to grow it and I need your help in growing my channel. And in return, I'll keep making those live videos and recorded videos, and I will help you, answering questions. So, yeah, who else on this live stream? So again, we're talking about making a web page using codes like HTML5 and CSS3. Those are essential elements and they are the basics. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Jackson. So those are the basic elements and the essential ones to start coding a web page. You have to know HTML and CSS, and the latest versions are HTML5 and CSS3. So even though you can make a web page or a website without using codes, nowadays there are so many services that offer website builders, but learning how to code at least the basics, it helps in making customization, changing simple elements on a web page on a website. So yeah, and I've been learning for the last 2 years, but I've been online for a long time. But I started to learn web development 2 years ago, and I like it, and that's why I make those videos. And I intend to make it a service on a side, and like building website, making web pages, customize them. So what we're talking about? Okay, so this is a general topic, and I'm gonna be answering your questions if you have any question about making a web page using HTML, CSS. So I don't have any specific bullet points or topics, but as the title implies, it says learning HTML5, CSS3, and then answering your questions. So if you have any questions, if you're interested in learning how to code and how to get started, I can help you with the basics, because I've been doing this for the last 2 years, and I have a good idea about how to learn and how to get started with the HTML, CSS, and what do you need, what kind of resources you need. So I am from Nigeria. Pixel Arizedemeria. I can't even pronounce it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this live stream. Let me know if you have any question. This is about making a web page and using HTML5, CSS3. If you're coming on this live stream, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are on this future replay, I want to thank you so much. Submit your questions in the comment box if you have any questions about learning how to code, starting with HTML and CSS. So yeah. Do you have anybody have a website already, or you intend to make a website or a web page? What's your intention? Gerald, is this a hacker? No, it's not a hacker group. This is me, George Shimon, making a live presentation now, and my channel is Web Page Coder, and I'm here to answer some questions if you have them about making a web page. So there's no hacking here. Do you have a website? Do you have any intention to make a website? Let me know if you have any questions so I can answer them on this live stream. I can help you with information about domain name, web hosting, website builders, and the most basic elements of a web page, HTML5, CSS3. So who else have a question? Any questions? Guys, if you have any questions, submit them in a comment so I can read them now and I will answer you if you have, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not already, because I'm trying to grow it, and I need your help in growing my channel. And in return, I will help you, answer questions about specific topics you need about coding. And again, I'm talking about HTML, CSS, and also I can talk about web page builders, web hosting, and the domain name. So let me know if you have any questions about those topics, so I can answer you on this live stream. If you are tuning in now, I want to thank you so much for your time and for tuning in. So just let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. So I don't have a web page. Sorry, it's okay. You know, if you want to learn how to code, start learning how to code. You don't even have to have a website or a web page. Do you have a computer at home? You can install a code editor like Visual Studio Code, and you can learn. You can start how to code. You know, you don't have to have a website or a web page. You know, so we're talking about making a web page. So I can show you on my screen here what I have. So this is my computer here. I have two screens, but you don't have two screens. One is enough. And if you look to the back, and this is Visual Studio Code here. Can you see it? Let me see. Yeah. So this is the code editor I use. It's Visual Studio Code. So I don't know what happened. So this is Visual Studio Code. It's a code editor on my computer, and then I can use the live server extension. And the live server extension, it will show you how the code looks like on a web page without having a website. This is why it's called live server extension. So fork game, you sound Italian. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Where are you tuning in from, Fork Jam? And do you have any questions about coding, about learning HTML, CSS? So I can answer your questions about code editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. So if you guys have any questions about making a web page, even on your own computer, you can download a code editor, and the one I'm using is Visual Studio Code. You don't even have. Is it enough to only learn Python? Is it enough? Have you made a good career from coding? My little brother was laid off from Cisco. Okay, so is it enough to only learn Python? Yeah, so let me answer the first question. Gerald D. Uh, I did not. I have. I do something different. Like my daytime job, I am a telecom engineer, but I do this on a side. I learn HTML, CSS, and website building. You know, I intend to do it as a side job. You know, on a side. So, but I have another job. I am a telecom engineer. And yeah, I mean anybody can learn how to code if you put effort, and you can learn it. It takes time, but it's not as difficult as regular programming languages like Java, CSS plus. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're welcome. And another question. Is it enough to only learn Python? I'm not sure what do you mean. Like, do you mean the code editor I'm talking about? I never tried to use Python, but let me just check now on the internet. I can check for you if you can use Visual Studio Code for Python. Visual Studio Code for Python. Yeah, you can use it for Python. So I'm looking at the website now for Visual Studio Code, the code editor, and working with Python and Visual Studio Code using Microsoft Python extension. So you have to use the Python extension. So let me see if I can find it here. So, and what's good about Visual Studio Code, it has so many extensions. You can just install the extension. Like now I looked and it says use the Python extension. So I'm gonna try it now. Python. So extensions. Yeah, it's the extensions will add capabilities to the web page, to the code editor. And if you look here, let me show you. If you look here, you go to the top, and it says Visual Studio Code, and you look at the extensions. You click on the extensions here, and you search for certain extensions. So we can search for Python now. Python. Okay, you see it says here Python language, support Python intent, Python such and such environment manager, Python extended, Python path, Python, yeah, so Python debugger. Okay, so what happened? There are so many. Let me. So there are so many Python extensions. So I'm gonna assume you can use Python, but I'm not sure which one to use for to make a program in Python, because I never used Python before. But yes, you can use it. Yes, you can use it. So, but we can do more search online if you need me to. But submit your questions, maybe or I can do it another time. Yeah, you're welcome. Sure. Yeah. You can use it for Python, because it's got so many Python extension. Visual Studio Code, it's a code editor. I use it for HTML, CSS, and I start using it for JavaScript. But you can use it for other languages. You just have to look for the language you're looking for. You need to use, and search for it, like I did now. So it's got a lot of capability. And what's nice about Visual Studio Code, it's for free. You can download it whether you have a Windows operating system or Mac or Linux. I'm using Linux now. This is Linux Ubuntu 22.04. I'm using it's on this laptop here, and I have two monitors, if you can see them. And then I have another server, Linux server here, but I'm not using it now. It's off, I turn it off. I don't need it right now, but I used it a lot before to use to learn the command line, because Linux is a great operating system, and one of the best features is the command line interface. You can do a lot with the command line interface, and yeah. Do you guys have any more questions? Let me know. Drop them in the comments. And make sure you subscribe. I'm not sure if you're subscribing. I know somebody subscribed. I can tell from here. But, I need more subscribers. I want to grow the channel to help you more. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, who else? Anybody have any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions, submit it in a comment. Yeah, again, we're talking about making a web page using codes HTML5 and CSS3. And you can ask other questions too if you want besides the web page, and I'll try to answer you if I know the question, the answer. And yeah, who else? Questions, comments? Yeah, so again, what's good about a code editor, if you download it to your computer, it's free and you can learn coding, And one of the extensions that you have to have in a code editor, the one I showed you, Visual Studio Code, the live server. The live server, what it does, it renders the code on your screen, and it shows you how it looks like as if it was on a website on the internet. So without having a website, without paying for a domain, if you're not ready for it, you can do it on your own computer. But at one point, if you want to make a website, it's good to have a web hosting to upload, to connect a website on the internet, because web hosting will help you with that, because you need a domain DNS. The DNS will translate your IP address to URL brand names, like abc.com, xyz.com, such and such. So again, welcome guys. Thank you for joining. So we're talking about again learning HTML5, CSS3, and I should have typed 5, not 3 on HTML. And we're talking about making a web page, and the way you make it is using a code editor. And the one I'm using is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is one of the best code editors, and you can use it for so many languages. It's not only for HTML, CSS. You can use it for Python, we just checked now, and for other languages. So it's a very good website editor, code editor, and it's for free. Anybody can download it. Whether it works on Mac computers, on Windows and Linux. I'm running Linux now, but if you have Windows, you can download it to Windows, and you can use it on Mac too. So questions? Anybody have a question? Guys, make sure if you like this kind of content and this presentation, and you don't want to miss future videos like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I need to grow it and I need your help. You will be helping me if you subscribe, and in return, I will answer your question on this live stream and future live streams. And also, you can submit a topic you want me to talk about, and related to making a web page, and websites, and I can help you. So, yeah, who else? Anybody have a question? Yeah, making a website or a web page nowadays is important, whether you use code or you use services which are ready, like website builders, templates, themes. There are so many ways, even if you don't want to use a website build code editor like this one. But it's good to learn how to code at least the basics. This way, how difficult or how easy for you the code is. So this way you can appreciate having a website or a web page, and the way you build it. So yeah, anybody else? Questions, comments? Yeah, guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. I think somebody tuned in from Nigeria. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Okay, I'm from Spain. Cami Ayema from Spain. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's say you want to make a website or a web page, and you don't want to learn how to code. There are so many options. And one of the options I used recently is a website, web hosting company called Hostinger, which is they have a website builder, and you can use the website builder without using codes. You can drag and drop. It's a drag and drop option. You log in into your web hosting account, and you move around the elements. So let's say you want to add a text to your web page. You can grab the text element and move it, and drop it in the middle of the web page where you want it to appear. This is why it's called a drag and a drop. So you drag an element and you release it on a web page, you drop it there. So this is a way to build a web page and a website without using codes like the HTML, CSS. So basically, every web page, the underlying structure of a web page is code: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and but not everybody want to learn how to code. So this is one of the ways you can build a web page or a website using templates, themes, or website builder, the drag and drop ones. You just drag an element and drop it. Like, let's say you want to add an image. You look at the element which says image. You drag the image and you release it on the web page, and then you update the image. You can upload an image from your computer or another resource. So yeah, so I've been using Hostinger, and if I have it's a simple website, the one I made, but it's like a testing to see the drag and drop website builder, and I joined their affiliate program, but I don't have the link in the description. But I wanna mention that because I have I'm affiliate. I have an affiliate link with them, so. Yeah, who else have a question? Any more questions about making a web page, a website using a code editor? Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, even if you're on the if you're tuning in now, I can answer you. But even if somebody is on the a future replay, I can still answer them. Just make sure you share it with others. If you think somebody else is interested in this kind of topics, share the video with them if you don't mind. It will be great. And so let's see if there's any questions. So anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Questions, comments, topics you want me to talk about now or in the future? Yeah, guys, if you're, let's see. Anybody else have a question about using a code editor like Visual Studio Code? There are other types of code editors, but the one I'm using is Visual Studio Code. I've been using it for a while, and I like it, and a lot of developers recommend it. So yeah, anybody else? Yeah, so yeah, guys, also let me know what kind of topics are you interested in when it comes to software and technologies. So we can try to talk about it if you're interested in other topics, because on my channel, on this YouTube channel, I cover about the 4 or 5 topics. I talk about other topics besides web page coding and web development. I talk about making SVG files using Inkscape. Inkscape is a free software that you can use to create SVG files, scalable vector graphics, and you can convert them to, you can export them to PNG files. And what's important about SVG files, you can scale them, like, make them bigger, and they don't lose quality. They keep quality. They're not like the pixel images, the raster images, which are made of pixels, because the pixelated images, if you make them larger, they can lose quality, but the SVG files, they don't lose quality because they're based on mathematical formula. The system will trace it using mathematical formulas, and it's traced as a path, not as pixels like the raster images. So we talk about this on this channel. Also, I talk about Linux operating system and how to use the Linux command line. And I have Linux Ubuntu. I use it. I've been using Linux for a long time. I use Windows too, and Mac, but I like Linux the most. But it doesn't replace any other ones. Everybody has certain use, so it's good to know different system and different options. Uh, any more questions? Topics you want me to talk about? Let me know. So yeah, and also I talk about other softwares like making editing videos, but I use free video editing software like OpenShot Video Editor and Caden Live and Shotcut, it's called, I think. So, but I'm not good when it comes to video editing. But I make simple editing like a cut and the move clip and the trimming. These are the basics. I can add, you know, uh, a B-roll and anybody else have a question? Welcome, guys. If you're on this live stream, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a comment in the comment box, and if you have any questions about learning how to code, we're talking about making a web page using HTML5 and CSS3, and I'm answering some of your questions on this live stream. And if you're tuning in the future, on a future replay, I want to thank you so much. And also, you can drop a comment or a questions in the comment box, and I can answer you in the future even. So again, like the title says, learning HTML, CSS, answering your questions. If you have any question, let me know. So. Anybody else have a question? Yeah, I'll be making more live streams like this one, but I need to know if you have any specific questions about coding a web page. Questions, comments, topics you want me to discuss if I know the how to talk about it. Otherwise, I'll refer you to the right resources. So, let's see. All right. Anybody have a question about this code? I can search it on the internet now, and let me show you this example here that I made. It's amazing how much you can do with the most basic languages. Um, this one here. So I'm gonna show you an animation I did not too long ago yesterday. So open folder, desktop, where's the animation? Example one. Let's see. I just want to see where's the animation example so I can show it to you. Is it this one? No. Let's see, is it this one? Animation, yeah, okay, I found it. So, examples, open folder, JavaScript examples. Yeah, this one maybe. Oh, animation, okay, it's right here. Animation. Open. Yes, it's right here. Okay, so yeah, let me show you what. So this is an example. Let me flip my screen. Let me show you this animation example I did using. I made using HTML, CSS. That's it. No JavaScript, no other languages. So let me flip the screen. So if you look here, this is a very simple example in Visual Studio Code. So this is the HTML file, right? The HTML5 file. It's a very small file, and it has box one in it, a div and a box one, and a sentence. And then you have the CSS code. This is give a styling to the element, to the HTML element. It give the color, the border, the background, the text sizes. So this one here, and starting from the top. So this is, we're styling box one. This is the format, box one, curly braces, and then you add certain elements, certain properties, and this is the animation. And if you look on this second screen, this is the animation. Look what it does, and I can explain it in 1 second. So this is the box. It's being animated. So it started blue, it's going down, and then it's going to the right side, changing to red. Then it's going up, changing to yellow, and then changing to purple, and it's gonna do the cycle again. So this is the animation, declaration here. So first, what you do is animation name. You give the animation a name. Then the duration, how long you want the animation to go. Like let's say 20 seconds, it's gonna keep going 20 seconds. And then I have the animation delay. How long you want the animation to take before it starts? How long? So this will wait 5 seconds. And it says animation iteration count, which is 20. So it means how many times you want the animation to happen. 20 times, it's gonna go through 20 cycles. And then in a separate code snippet, you will use the selector add keyframes and space, and then you mention the name of the animation, which is my move, like the one before, and then you add what you want to happen, what kind of declaration to happen uh, with this animation. And I specified at 25% what's gonna happen. You give the declaration here. So I want it to go from 100 pixel background. I want it to be blue. And then at 50%, it will change. The top is 500 and it becomes red, and then at 75% it becomes yellow, then at 100% it becomes purple. So basically the keyframe, it tells the element what to do at certain points. So at the 25%, this is what's gonna show. It's gonna activate this code here. At 50%, it will activate this code here. 75%, it will activate this. 100%, it will activate this code. So, and you can make changes to those. It depends what you want the box to do. So it's right here, it's still running. And because I specified I want it to run 20 times, but I can change it here. Let's say you can change those to control the animation. So if I do it one time, it will do the animation once and it doesn't do it again. So yeah, so that's how it works, guys. This is an example of animation using HTML and CSS. And what I did, I animated a box, as you saw on a screen. The box is moving around and it's changing its color as it moves. And I specified how I want it to move, like the distance from the edge of the browser, and what color it's gonna change at one point. So this is an example of code. So it's amazing what you can do with basics of HTML, CSS. It's very basic. So do you have any question about coding using Visual Studio Code Editor and making simple codes using HTML5, CSS3? If you have any example, submit them in a comment and let me know. If you have other questions, or any topics you want me to discuss related to the 6 categories on my channel. So, anybody else? Anybody else have a question? All right, so I guess there's no more questions coming in. I will wait a couple minutes in case somebody have a question, and then I will wrap up the session, and then maybe we'll do another session tomorrow. So if you have any questions, please submit them in a comment and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos like this one or future updates. So yeah, just for a couple minutes, if somebody have another question, let me know. So all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those future updates, and hit the notification button so you'll be notified every time I go live or I produce another video. Thank you.